Leche. Parity, not patriarchy. Past, present, futures. Here's we are again. It's the Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's Co-Secretary and various most specials more is ours coming to us most soon. Especially starting stings with our youngers, including, of course, Vanessa Sally and Harlan's Westleys Springless with them and inspired by the Lighting Least and April's Risen, Rosa Risen's Essentially also featuring Edith and Hamakshi and Jenna Squay and a lot more. And of course, bringing with them also all of our Shekinahs, our aunts and mothers and aunts, all the Shekinah circles, including Anne Marie's and Julia Marie's and these equal years, and Barbara's and the Divines and Jennifer's and Georgine's and lots more. And you'll hear more of the names of very most essentials, great and grandmothers, including, of course, Mom Patricia Sunflowers and Harry and Lady Ray, Precious and Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Popper, and a lots more. Lynn. In just a few moments, Barbara's but that's what we like to call ourselves, all of us, everyone's, including yous. Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's goes for us, but in order to connect our names and purposes to other archetypal languages and person histories on this, our homes on all our planets, past, present, future, since contacts, birth, heavens on this and all earth, we also call ourselves other names, such as including ever young goddesses and gods. Now, as just that means we're trying to become a pantheon above others. No, of course not. What we are delivering is divine democracies, so that all the Elohas and Elohims, all the Elis, very close and narrow ways, all the females and males, all the souls that God has created, since incarnated, past, present, futures, cans and shells and cans, be reunited again, back and forth in circles, times and balance and context, for heavens on this and all earths in contact. Does that in any way suggest we're trying to usurp the ever-loving's authority and powers of the one Mother, Father, God of the universe? No, of course not. There is only one Mother, Father, God of the universe, ever present in all creations and all sustainings, including all of us, all that we know as he has ever known, past, present, futures, all our families and communities, all the females reparatively, and all the females and males equally reparatively with the eyes and of all heritage being used, and all the flora and fauna that God has given us to go through and appreciates. And so he says, Namaste, the divines with all greets, the divines with use and all. So he says, Mikotuya Oyasi, Mikotuya Kosarels, we're all related, we are Eddies and also everyone is also related, and because we know that we are also related, we shall sing Kens and Shoals, come together again back and forth in circles, silence and balance and context for sevens on this and all earths. And we also says the alights with an us greets the alights with the news and alls. Koros, Samaz, Paxis, Bava, Chaim, Sol, Salam, Mir Pache, Ubuntu back and forth to mitochondrial release, boards ever springs, Namastes, Chinquays, Mercies, Chalish, Vags, Sayanaras, Das Vidanias, Trios, Good Days, and all languages of other heritage use, lands and continents and beyond, including the planets, because space-time is not linear. And so it says, let the loves that lives ever young's longest, and prosper everyone's and all's, as Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's Rayborn's, nativities, and always ever young springs, young adults. And we also therefore call ourselves other names, such as co-white cat buffer women's, co-changing women's, co-Iroquois, Scottish claim mothers, co-sister gazinas, and co-custom brothers. Nieces and nephews, and nieces, for entering new times. And we call ourselves co-sky women's, co-earth women's, co-spider women's, co-kachinas, co-kachinas, all one families. We call ourselves Orishas and Mayas, Kokalki, Koamamari, Ko-Afrikasurs, Ko-Kanyans Buddhas, Ko-Zayoshans, Ko-Messiahs, and Couszmic Chrisztsz, among other names. Don't let these names to imitate to ancient languages. They simply use translates to anointed. Anointed to do what? To bring together divine feminines, divine masculines, now cosmically used for heavens and this and all earth. And so therefore we also call ourselves other names, such as always in always holy nativities, Christmases, with Christ. We call ourselves females and males. We call ourselves co-holy nativities, females and males, co-entering new times cupids, psychics and earls, esterlins and aesterlins, because we are combining the messages of Shusha, is the 50-50 promise fulfilled with that of the Galilee, that is the Magdalens and Nazarenes equally, so all the females reparatively, and all the females and the separates, all the females reparatively, and all the females and males equals reparatively of all the divine heritages, connecting them to their divine heritages of the Galilee, connecting them to their divine heritages, of course, of Atlantis, Thrace, Budno back over to Medical Release, World's Vedic Druidics, and then I say, of course, Estrella, Libertia, Libertina, Estrella, and Victoria and Mariam, among the others, and the Vedics and Druidics, and Celtics, and lots more. Something calls ourselves very real stargates, Atlantis, and all holy on the sacred Earth prisons. And the last shall be first come first in very real stargates, Star Trek, Party, Beast Cultures, for heavens on the solar horse, and contact. Now, it sounds like a daunting test accordingly. Open the stargates and the Akashic records, as well as the souls for reborn and risen humanities, but actually it's easily accomplished via the Numerian Golden Rule, which you can read at 5050 now. .wordpress.com, and just that quick read the 11 steps for easily accomplished strategies for making us on the souls. You also see a page on the website called Among the Representatives, use, because use, shells and cannons and shells. Joins us in becoming Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General, Couszmic. And you can see our names and pictures there. In yours too, we have our family trees, and yours too, represented by picture frames. We start genealogically, first go first with our great and grandmothers, and then equally to all the Shekinahs, our families, and then especially equally to our, for starting first, our Elohaz and Elohims, always circles, and are always females and males of our already present next generations. And so we'll say something they can't say, all of them will say that something. Now we have Jiggadosay and Queen Esther and all the Iroquois, Scottish grandmothers, and more recently and currently Barbara Herschel, Lily Cassanza, and Virginia Elliot Voluntary New Times. And of course we have our co-white cat bubble and Myrtle Rosemary and Pearl, and especially Ma Patricia Sunflowers, and of course Martha Myrtles and Sophia and Laura Myrtles, and Sophia and Laura, and Marie Griffiths, and of course we have our Piscatawayas, we have our Gabrielles, the Genesquays, and lots more there, and we have of course we have our Ubuntu families, our Leland, Gayalas, Guagis, Josephines, Anns, Mabels, Amazing Graces, Blunas, and lots more there. We have our Lex families, our Bonnies and Silvers, lots more there, our Swan families, Ellis and Hannahs, lots more there. And of course, our especially in Jersey Doors, our hearts, our Richard Horny, Magdalens and Nazarenes, Venusians, Rents, Estrella, Libertia, and Estrella, and Trinity, and Martin, and Curdy, Julian, Checker, and Fixer, Mr. Ross, for Marie, Grandma, Papa, Grandma, Arthur, Gracious Stores, Grandma, Dorothy, teaching, learning lessons, always just as well as the Elsewhere, and with Malka and Shirley, and Elena, Leona, and Jennifer family, Rachel, Wilson, Clive, Stargates families, Barbara, Shepherds, Williams, Judy, the Yangs, and the Ellens families, and our current generation of teams with Esther, Rachel, Santa Maria, and Judith, and these equalities, Victoria's, Mariamas, and Barbara's, Jennifer's, and Georgie's, and more, and of course we have our younger generations, Abel's, Risen, Rose, Risen, Essential Names, all of these leaders, Brace Louise, Daniel Julius, Aladdin Lees, Vanessa Stallion, Harlan's with Russell Yeats, Harass Gretel, Leon Ross, Benjamin John, Blessed Bells, and more are Comingsz, race, always celebrities, always eat slurrings, always all relatedly students, Parity not patriarchy, past, present, futures, ever ye's blessings.